The Truman Foundation is the living memorial to the 33rd President Harry Truman. Each year, up-and-coming leaders are selected across the 50 states and U.S. territories. This morning, we have Madeline Dotson, the 2023 Truman Scholar for the state of Alabama with us. Madeline, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So you are the representative for the state of Alabama, but we do have Ole Miss colors on right now.
Yes, I'm currently a junior at the University of Mississippi. I'm studying Arabic, economics, and political science.
All right, very impressive stuff. Let's talk a little bit about the Truman Scholarship. What exactly is this?
Yeah, so the Truman Scholarship is, like you said, the living memorial, and it aims to get young people into public service careers. So you apply your junior year of college. It's a pretty unique application process because it asks you to make a policy proposal and focus on one thing you want to solve while in your public service career.
Wow, that is quite the task right there. So let's talk about that. What was your policy proposal?
Yeah, so I'm really passionate about the environment, but also about our communities here on the Gulf Coast. So my idea is sort of how do we develop infrastructure both sustainably and while preparing for natural disasters. My main policy proposal was finding a way to use technology to be able to improve the efficiency of hurricane evacuations.
Amazing. I do want to get back to that in just a second, but first tell us about some of these pictures we're looking at here.
Yeah, so I've been able to study all around the world focusing on environmental issues, but also improving my Arabic. I was a National Security Language Initiative for Youth Scholar, which is a bit of a mouthful, but I lived in Morocco for a bit learning Arabic up until the pandemic. And then as a stamp scholar at the University of Mississippi, I have the opportunity to travel all across the world, across Europe, and I'll be heading to Oman this summer.
Amazing stuff. What have you, this is too broad of a question, but what have you learned or gathered from your travels that perhaps you may not have been able to learn about just simply by living here in the States?
Yeah, I think the one thing that surprised me the most is sort of how similar we all are. I think especially going to the Middle East, it sort of was like, this is kind of a new culture. It's a little intimidating, but it reminded me so much of home and so much of the South. And it really gives me a lot of I guess, optimism for what the future might be like.
Great stuff. And where did you go to high school?
I went to the Alabama School of Math and Science.
Okay, so that's bringing it back to what we were talking about earlier. We do know that hurricanes and natural disasters and all the storms, we deal with this so much on the Gulf Coast, and that's kind of where your passion sprung from to take a deeper look at this.
Correct. And being in Mississippi has also sort of given me a different perspective on how different states, whether there might be a little bit more inland, sort of approach natural disasters and how we respond to them and how we can improve them in our responses.
Great stuff. Now, is there a way people can follow what you're doing and what you're up to?
Yeah, so you can definitely check out the Truman Foundation's website at truman.gov. And there we have all the bios along with my email as well if anyone has questions about the Truman Foundation. Great
stuff. Well, congratulations. I know you are going to represent our state incredibly well. What an honor, what an achievement. Can't wait to follow along. And we'll see you down the road with some of that research. I'm sure it's going to yield to great results.
Thank you so much.
All right, thanks for coming in. Chelsea.
She is so cool. Congrats to Madeline. We'll have more on her on fox10tv.com.